Again, it is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz. I still call Australia home. We're girt by sea. And as we speak, we've got soldiers, sailors, and airmen all across Australia about to be reunited with their families as they start their annual leave, their recreation leave. Fantastic. It's been a big year for so many. When it's a peace year, it is really hard work practicing for the big game, but not wondering whether you're going to get a chance to run on the field. But we wish them well. And as they hit the roads, stay safe. Take your time to get home. And to the families of those that are probably having their first reunion, since so many have got in, this can be a hard moment because so many have only left home for the first time, males, females, sailors, bringing back new boyfriends, etc. Well done, Popeye. Make sure you get some lubricant. And a lot of people are driving their first long drive home as well. So be careful there. Soldiers and airmen, all the best. Thanks for what you've done. 100 points for you now and in the future legends. I had that down here for you guys. So make sure you do stay safe. And we've got a whole bunch of comments thrown in here now. What do we got? Simon Powell. Going crazy there. Two Saints, even all. Kaz, g'day, mate. Shares my name. We'll pop up in the comments here. We've got Drop Bear, evening, Kaz. Two Saints. Good to have you here. Nicole, Simon Powell. Jaddock. Hey, I hope I'm recovering. I don't know what's going on, mate. Got the bloods done again today. For those that don't know, I don't know what's going on, but the last 5 or 6 days now, I felt sick as a dog. And even now, I felt like I chucked a bit of a whitey just before I came on. Don't know what's happening. Hey, Sahara, how you going, mate? How's that silky voice you're going? Of yours going? Julius Caesar joined us today on Patreon. We've got about 17 people that have just joined up. If you want to join back on, team, now's a good time to do it in time for Christmas, so we can speak to you over the break. Good to have you all here, and the conversation we've been having lately has been fantastic. G'day, Camo. How you going? Simon is here. Banners, tonight, what are we talking about? Modern warfare is adapting at the speed of leadership. What does that mean, Kaz? We're about to speak about that tonight. For the military members that are watching, you'll probably understand exactly what we're talking about. For once, we're actually seeing that we're not listening directly to the previous conflict that we've gone on, using the equipment like the Bushmaster as a Bible vehicle that was good at some time, of our military existence because of its ability to withstand improvised explosive devices with its V-shaped hull. But now in places like not Afghanistan, our previous conflict, but the Ukraine, where we're seeing the drone that was considered a toy 2 years ago now being used as a cutting-edge weapon system amongst the C3 command, control, and communications, as well as a strategic delivery device which affects morale across the battlefield. It's amazing. Flip that switch over, and now what we're seeing is a rapid deployment of great ideas and secondary and tertiary courses of action being used to now give engineers some time in the light, and using in Israel the D9 bulldozer, getting that armed up, and that has now become the beast of the battlefield. This is only possible if our decentralized leadership is given the time, the respect, the innovation to be able to use this equipment, to shape the battlefield. And they've allowed them to use it, and hopefully Australia does the same, because we can get caught up in our doctrinal thinking, which makes us also, sit on our hands, take too long to plan, and potentially not use what's at our potential. So it's an important one. So modern warfare is adapting at the speed of leadership, which allows it to operate. Innovation of weapon systems, once thought of toys and tools, are now guiding our C3. Again, command, communications, and control of the battlefield, especially in the built-up areas. Saving lives, force protection, all of these things. What else can we add to the menu other than the D9 bulldozer, which Israel's now got over 100 of, that are doing the cutting edge on that battlefield in Gaza. The drones that are dropping delivery systems on our poor Rusky comrades, who are losing their life hand over fist because of the detection that's being used. And don't get me wrong, do I like Russia being over in Ukraine? No, I don't. Am I proud of the Ukrainian fighters? Absolutely. I'm always proud of a patriot that stays in the country rather than fleeing and becoming a refugee before they've heard a single shot. But one of the sad things is that Ukraine is going to be a mess. It must be killing those guys on the battlefield to know that their women are at parties and discos and OnlyFans only 300 kilometers behind the line instead of supporting them on the battlefield. And that's not all of them, but a lot of them. Yeah. So what have we got here? Let's go to comments for a second, see if we've got anything interesting popping up. Peppers is here. Great to have you here, Peppers. Jaddock, drones fitted with C4 making a cheapish room clearer and reconnaissance tool. Yep, can be very, very useful. There's also picking out the patterns of movement on the battlefield. Also the battle damage assessment of things that are occurring. It can be the eye in the sky giving battlefield commentary of situations that are occurring right now so we don't overuse ordnance or know exactly where to move people onto a target through a cometary system. There's no end to how amazing this equipment is. And I'll tell you one thing, I'm so glad that in some way we're on the winning side, but it won't take long before our enemies will be using that against us as well. So we've got to hope that we've also got counter delivery methods to be able to take down these drones, etc. To be able to destroy D9 bulldozers. And we have. They're called an Abrams. Daz, g'day, mate. Good to have you here. How's the farm going? It's been bloody hot here. Bloody hot. Brother Daz. What else we got? The material of the battlefield will shape the tactical battle. Our leaders must understand, adapt, and shorten our loops to prevail on the modern battlefield. We do need to. And what we do there, guys, is one of our tools that we use. Where are we? Bam, is the map. And I'm not talking about DORA. I'm talking about the military appreciation process, which means our leaders actually find out who we're fighting, who the threat is, etc. Sometimes also those that are on our side. Wingnut says, "G'day, Kaz. Hope you're feeling better." No, mate, I'm not. If I go white all of a sudden and get out of here, I'm not doing white face, which would be racist if I was in Africa. What's happening is I'm probably going to do some yodeling right in the toilet bowl. So the map, the military appreciation process. This is where, as a call sign, you look into, for example, man versus wife. He looks up everything that is her critical vulnerabilities. Okay, what her strong points are, what her operating ability is, what her strengths are, what her weaknesses are, and how he can build a plan around that. This is not to be mixed up with tactics. Right? It's different. This is the strategic level, okay, and allows us to find out what their not just their critical vulnerabilities, but also what their freedom of movement can be, and what gives them their ability to operate. So from there, this happens at a strategic level again, and it comes down through intelligence. Those guys that are going to intelligence, and it becomes something special. And then call signs are allocated to this, understanding that there is also vulnerabilities to us. And one of our biggest vulnerabilities is the fact that we're the side that's using the laws of armed conflict against a force that's not using it. Okay, am I talking about Ukraine? Not necessarily. Am I talking about Israel? Not necessarily. But the future of warfare, we are strapped into Geneva Conventions and normally fighting countries that don't use it. So the weapons we use, again, I say the rules of the battlefield should not be made up by officers, and they should not be made up of by politicians. They should be made by the soldiers that actually do the fighting, do the dying, do the staying on the battlefield that the songs of the Dixie Chicks are made of. Right. So the military appreciation process, the center of gravity, what gives us the ability to fight. Undermine that, and what you can do is see the whole military storyline completely change if you undermine that. Okay. An example of that would be if you were to undermine Hamas at the moment as a credible organization and make them out to the terrorists they are amongst the Palestinian people, which is not likely to happen because it's actually their sons that are doing it. So if you were able to undermine their message, then what might happen is they might start to go, okay, let's get rid of those guys since 2007, time for a new change. We like our kids more than we like our AK-47s. Just give us a chance to get out of here. We'll see how that goes. What's Daz saying here? Daz, you need an old Model T Ford for his G's delivery runs. For those that don't know, it's the way Simon makes his money, delivering some stallion, child making material. Gargles at first, of course. Make sure it's not poison. Okay. The current warfare proves that the past tactics are still as relevant today while not dwelling on the previous operations like Afghanistan, etc. So what we've seen is the forces go back to trench warfare, trench raids, combined arms on an open battlefield, long form engagement of weapon systems, using maneuver on the battlefield in large arcs, a lot bigger than battalion level command. And we're seeing that it hasn't changed much at all. It hasn't made that did that, Simon. You got we're completely off topic tonight, are we? Concept came from US Air Force. There we go. Yeah. So basically what we're saying is, for those guys that join the military now, and for those that are going to be officers in the future, it is important that we do listen to what crazy plans you have, the equipment that you have, the innovations of the junior leadership prior to that battlefield, etc. We learn the lessons from the past, and then we start to see where are these relevant, where can we use it, can we use it in the next foray that we go into, and what are the benefits of that. Don't just carry on like game as usual when we go from Cambodia to Somalia to Rwanda to East Timor, Iraq, Afghanistan, Solomons, and then whatever future activities we do as well. We need to keep evolving. And although you don't scrub the board dry, the people in Afghanistan must be feeling like, they're back in the reserve grade again now. That was the trip that happened a few years ago with the next theatre going to look completely different to Afghanistan, that's for sure. Now, the veterans of the Afghanistan tours have prepared the first world nations very well, I believe, for the forays they're going into now. And we're seeing that, especially through the leadership, utilising their forces in a way with measure as well, but also with some of the frustrations, because we're going to see some real modern atrocities happening by the foreign agencies we're fighting, and that's not easy to swallow for soldiers when they come back from a battlefield and feel like after their service and their patriotism has been paid, that in some way that they do feel a little bit special and want to be acknowledged for that. Not to be told they're special, but at least be assisted when it comes then to off-ramping to a different life after they come home and try to take their boots off. Anyway, so we've got all the soldiers across the country at the moment who are getting ready to go on leave that are probably watching this now, which is quite a scary thing, because we saw also a completely different segue. What do you think about this? We saw boxing used to be the violence for entertainment, and then we saw that evolve into MMA, and then we saw it go into bare knuckle boxing, and then we saw it go into King of the Streets. And now we're actually seeing, and I don't recommend you do it, people watching the conflict on their phones that's happening in Afghanistan or was happening in Gaza or happening in Ukraine as we speak, and that is becoming their entertainment. Never let that be entertainment to your team. Let it be something about learning, but never go there for joy. Never go there for an endorphin rise, because this is real people. that are getting killed on both sides that all probably think they're the ones doing the right thing, the patriots. If you tell someone they're a patriot long enough, you might be amazed at what they're willing to do if the right person asks them. G'day, Jakey. How you going, mate? Because you're not looking too crash hot, we won't think any less of you if you have to cut it short. That's all right, mate. That's all right. I'm happy to be here, mate. I've been putting off for a few days. Yeah, it's pretty damn hot here too. But that's all right. The show must go on. The fat lady's not seeing is she? And we've got a fair few people that are actually really, really sick as well in our channel. To Stevie Bryce, I'd put the candle on, but I'm bloody hot enough here. Mr. P wouldn't want me to put it on either. I did have half a shave, but unfortunately, because people don't learn enough from war, hence the reason. No, the people learn enough. The politicians don't. Our politicians are the ones that don't seem to learn. There we go. Unfortunately, because people don't learn enough from war. Yeah, because the people that are pushing for it, and I never thought that, the lefties that are all saying, take the weapons off Australia, take the weapons off USA, take the weapons off UK, do gun buybacks, but at the same time saying give guns to Ukrainians, keep them in the fight. That's like giving a mouth guard to someone who's losing badly in a boxing match, to keep it going so they can take a little bit more damage. The civilians are sometimes the ones behind keeping the fight going despite the fact they wouldn't line up themselves. And one of the sad things about this as well is the fact that Australia's ability to actually man their guns, so to speak, is falling lower and lower and lower as recruiting gets poorer and poorer and poorer. But also people have got to the stage of lack of fitness and ability to move their own body, that there'd be a very, very small proportion of people that are able to actually pick up a weapon and actually operate at all if they were called upon. This is the laziest and fattest Australians have ever been, and the lazy and fattest society has ever been in the history of the entire world. And this is the time, funny enough, the safest we've ever been, where people are the most depressed. Go and work that one out. What do you got there? Practitioners of war learn from war. The authors of war, maybe not so much. War is a business team, and that's the sad thing behind it as well. It's a business. Adam, cockroach and dragonfly drones will change the battlefield. Yeah, it's definitely awesome to see that there's force, There's force preservation, also energy preservation. Sometimes, you're not going to be able to trust that a drone is good enough to be able to go and search an area well enough without sending forces there to be able to hold that force. And that always takes infantry, because infantry is the only corps that can hold ground, but at the same time, these drones are going to start getting used against us as well. And that's a scary thing as well. What happens when you're a call sign that's sitting there as 8 men, maybe your vehicle has gone off if you're motorized or mechanized, and all of a sudden you hear the whir of a drone that's straight above you, and you realize they know where we are, and that doesn't look like ours. We're going to see the automation of a lot of things. We're going to start to see those facial recognition cameras, for the benefits of for fines, for revenue raising, etc. Politicians are wolves, soldiers, sailors, and airmen are their sheepdogs. Public are sheep. Yep. And a classic example of that is Zelensky. Look at him. He's looking like a legend, despite the fact he's never been in danger in his life, other than the fact that he's married. Yet he gets all the limelight while he's got people continuing to die on the battlefield going into winter, while he eats whatever he wants to, while he pretends to wear that Kmart green combat shirt, and he'll leave this a billionaire, while the rest of his people will be filling up hospitals that still need to be rebuilt. It's going to be a sad one. And he'll be the only name remembered. Yep. And his wife, of course, on their frequent flying point, shopping trips. And I've heard those stories, Kaz, approximately 1,500 leaving every year. Yep, that's wingnut. That is that's almost a normal thing, but the people actually leaving the military, that's a normal thing. Every 4 years there's a cycle where there's a mass of people that get out of the military. Yep. And just like there's people continually getting in. Yeah, there's a lot more than 1,500 joining a year. Okay. What it is we need to change the way we are recruiting. I don't know what has happened, whether we have whether we have a private organization that has stepped in and deliberately decentralized all of the testing, and then made a lot of it online psychology as well, where they're getting maximum amount of money while providing the least amount of coverage of our soldiers. Because if you allow the wrong soldier to join, and then they fail or quit at Kapuka, then you've just been double whammied, because the recruiting has been paid full amount, but the soldier or the army has now received a broken tool that needs to have to go through all the system plus the DVA payout potentially for what they perceive to have wrong with them, for the reason why they failed, because people also don't like taking accountability for what's happened, right? It makes no sense to me that it can take more than 4 months for someone to actually get through the recruiting process. And it's not like we didn't do it better before, where you turned up, you had your initial walk into DFR, okay? You spoke to someone. If you're going to go to Army, then they slung someone over to you that was Army. If you're going to be Air Force, again, someone from Air Force. And from there, basically what occurred was they just looked you up and down, worked out, is this person worth their salt? Are they wasting our time? Why do you want to join? Are they ready? Yes or no? Yeah, they're ready. Okay, go to the next stage. And then what there was a big date that you turned up. There's more than 70 people would turn up each time. And this was run a few times a week. And the psych would be in there. The medical would be in there. The aptitude test would be in there. All of that shit. And then they'd just determine at the end of that, are you a green light? Are you amber? We need some more information. Or red, go home, see another year, or never reapply. That used to happen. So I don't know whether General Stewart knows this is happening with the Australian Army recruiting at the moment. We've got people saying they can't get a phone call back within a month, that they're not getting their emails sent back at all. And you're going, how is this possible when we've got priority role written on so many different areas, where we've got people screaming to get in who are competing with people who've just got a year 12 who are screaming to get in? And then still waiting for a date, despite the fact that they've been waiting for so long. It doesn't make sense. Julius, thank you for becoming a new member, mate. Not Sue Cow, great to have you here. There he is. What are the chances? My favourite dictator, is now a member and also a Patreon member. Fantastico. Well done, mate. Well done. Great to have you here. Dave is saying the military is like a conveyor belt, delivering capability, better or worse, depending on the process and the raw material people being fed in. Absolutely. Yep, it is. It's a business. It definitely is an organisation. Well, I just don't want to see any more fish get out of the net. Let someone come in, make a change their life. Let them actually live their life. Let them have a life of service for at least 4 years and get out there and give back to Australia as a better citizen. Let them learn about themselves through being in the military, Air Force, Army, Navy, doesn't matter what it is. Stop dropping standards. Make people meet standards. They'll appreciate you for it later. They will. You remember you don't have a problem with your dad giving you a smack when you were younger. You realise you needed it at the time. Yeah, something similar to that. I didn't have time to write any more banners up, as my little girl has done her third last day of school today. Very proud to see her getting ready for high school. I just hope that she likes it. Predation of anything leads to profiteering and distortion of results. Matt Grippin, I totally agree. But what it can also do, the privatisation means that you've actually got people that have got meritocracy attached to their name, as opposed to government workers who tend to be spending someone else's money on someone else, which means they never give a single fuck because they're never held accountable, because they're looking at their watch, waiting for the day to end in between cups of coffee and a cigarette with Sarah. Yeah. Used to get a sub fleet, and it's obsolete by the time they arrive. Yeah, Brady, it's a funny one. I'm a big believer in just going, who's got the best subs? Yep, make 10 more of those, and we'll buy them. We don't need any more research and development. We'll add some stuff to it once it gets here. We'll upgrade it. Dave D. What's this one? If they start giving gold medals for mediocrity, soon no one will turn up to the Olympics. There you go. Well, talking about fitness, there's a couple of videos I'd love to do a reaction to, and one of those is a fantastic event that I've just come up fallen upon for entertainment, and that is the PTO, which is the Professional Triathlon Organisation, I think it's called, PTO. Absolutely amazing. We've got a young woman named Ashley Gentle who represents Australia. Amazing young lady. And we've got a couple of Aussies in there too, in amongst the men. You watch those events, and it's meritocracy the entire way. It's about time we saw, instead of Brad Bevins and stuff like that. That was it Brad Bevan, not the cricket player, the Croc, the fellow that used to be the triathlete, who got hit by the car up near Innisfail, I think it was. And you're right, Kaz, no phone calls, no emails, and never a return call, waiting to hold for over an hour too. That's disgusting. That should never happen. So basically what I was going to get at is, with the people we have on the channel that are saying, hey, how do I get better at running? How do I get better at my push-ups, my fitness? I would simply say surround yourself in that sort of positive energy and start looking at those things on YouTube. And by watching that, the actual activities, the events, not necessarily just how to do better activity, then what happens is you get a positive mindset that makes you want to go outside and do something physical. Guys, you've only got this ability to move your body the way you can now for a very short period of time before it's all taken away by Father Time, by sickness, or by injury. So make sure you enjoy your life. And that's why we're getting, where are we? Adam. That's what we are getting now, orchestrating. Yeah. That's Australia, United Kingdom, and the US. We've got the Five Eyes too, but not all the teams can be trusted in the Five Eyes. We had some problems with New Zealand. We've got some problems with Canada. But yeah. ANZUS, AUKUS, Five Eyes. You need to have strategic partners, team, and you need to be on the winning side. That's for sure. As Camo says, just got to keep ringing them and hounding them to get that process rolling. Exactly right. Because you can't just do that phone call once and then go, oh, you never got back to me. Remember, this is the time of the year where they're going on holidays too. They didn't want the job at recruiting in the first place. I don't think anyone does. It'd be a horrible job. Look at the people you spend most of your time with. Make that inner circle, group of excellence. Totally agree with that too. Guys and gals, I think I'm going to get out of here. I'm starting to feel like stamped on tofu. Look, I'll try and get a couple of videos to you, but there's no promises at the moment. When I put things up, you might get a few videos at the moment. I'm still doing the phone calls. Of course, if you need me on the bat phone, that's good to get me on. Monday, I head out of here for 4 or 5 days for school holidays for daughter, leading up to Christmas. But at the moment, I don't seem to be able to kick whatever this is, and it's been throwing me around big time. This will be the first time I've driven more than half an hour in the next few days. What's Brady got? Watch the story about US soldiers having to repay the cost of their gear after bugging out of Afghan after they were told to leave it there, like our Uncle Sam 4000. Yeah, I saw that too. That was horrible, Brady. That was when they did the pull out, okay, of not Bagram Airfield, but when they left a lot of their equipment when they left at Kandahar, the civilian airfield, which was a strategic mistake, and they all knew it. I know they did. Brian Sherman, named after the tank. All the best, Kaz. Thank you very much, mate. To you guys and gals out there, I know that this is going to be a great year coming up, but it's going to be a painful year too. All right. If you're on the stock market with Kaz, painful, very painful at the moment. And we don't know when it's going to turn around. For those in the housing market with everything going up, I don't know whether this is a ploy, conspiracy to basically destroy the middle class so that everyone becomes renters and then come under the poncho of power so that we become basically a socialist country. Who knows? Thanks, Sahara. Thanks, mate. Let's have a phone call soon. I'd like that. You guys have been really, really good in my corner. It's really is appreciated. Unfortunately, not everything can be cured by Coca-Cola. I wish it could. Yeah. But you know what? I said to the big guy, I said to the Lord, if you can give me back my legs and allow me to walk again, then I'll be happy with that. I should have asked for more because my arm is still pretty trashed. Looks like a half-chewed chicken wing. One of those ones you get at the bottom of the bucket at the KFC. You'd know about that, Simon. Okay. And the other one is the tummy. I think I might be pregnant. Am I a birthing person? I don't know. We'll see. But apart from that, guys, look after yourselves. Stay safe. I'll be on here soon. And I'm still painting. We're up over 91 models now that are done. And that takes me mind off me tummy a bit too. So take it easy, guys. Hey, Foxy, how you going, mate? Sorry for the late check-in. That's okay, Foxy. It's okay. We're about to get out of here, actually, my friend. I hope you're about to start your holidays. I hope that you feel good. When this time off, it's weird when you're in the military. You tend to actually want to go back to work early so you can get back with your compadres. Yeah. So in conclusion, thanks to everyone that is serving at the moment. Everyone has completed a goddamn hard year. That's about to get to their unit. Those that are about to go to training and then leave that and go back for Christmas only to go back half done. Make sure you don't pull the fat cord. Train, but don't overtrain over Christmas and be around your family because it might be a long time before you go back to them again. With that out the way, guys, take it easy, look after yourself, and I'll look forward to talking to you soon. See you after.